Hi, I'm Akshat Malhotra, and welcome to the series on the fundamentals of personal finance. This is not just a standalone video, but an entire course. And so, if you'd like to make the most of this chapter, make sure you watch the previous ones.
Well, now that you realize the importance of why should we save and invest our money, I'm sure this question is popping up in your heads. How do we make the most of it? And as Indians, we want to make the most of every situation, right? We bargain till the last breath when we go shopping out. How do we go about making the most of our savings and investments when it comes to our own money? And to do that, I'm sure you've heard of number of schemes out there. Man, come invest your money. We will make sure that your money grows thrice in 2 years, 5 times in 3 years, 10 times in 5 years, and you're going to be crorepati in no time, right? How many of you actually come across these kind of schemes out there? Put something in your notebook so that I know. So how do we make the most of our savings and investments? And trust me, there's only one way that we can make the most of our savings and investments. There's something which is called the eighth wonder of the world. And it's not me, it's not Akshat, or it's not Pennywise calling this the eighth wonder of the world. From Albert Einstein to Warren Buffett to the biggies and the biggies of the finance industry have called this the eighth wonder of the world. Any guesses? Well, that eighth wonder of the world, my friends, is nothing but compounding. Compounding. Compounding is that magic that we've studied about in class 7, class 8. I think all of us have gone through that a maths lesson on compound interest versus simple interest. But the practical application of that is something that we've never realized. And so, let's understand how does compounding work. But before that, for compounding to work, compounding says that, boss, I am the eighth wonder of the world. I am the hero. I am the heroine. Why should I work for you? Who are you? आपने ऐसा क्या किया है? Why should I work for you? And so compounding says that since I am the eighth wonder of the world, since I'm the boss, I need you to club me with the ninth wonder of the world. And only if you club me with the ninth wonder of the world will I show my magic to you. And any guesses once again, what's the ninth wonder of the world? Well, my friends, the ninth wonder of the world is nothing but patience. Sabr. Compounding says that only when you patiently hold on to your savings and your investments will I start working for you. Will I show you the magic of my powers. And so, compounding clubbed with patience works wonders. And let's have a live example and see how could compounding actually work in our favor. And quickly show you the difference between the simple interest and the compound interest, right? So I'm just going to run you through. Let's say you have a principal amount of 10,000 rupees, interest rate of 10%. So in simple interest, how is it calculated? Principal into rate into time divided by 100, right? So let's say you've invested into an investment avenue, into a financial avenue that gives you 10% return per annum. And let's say you've invested your money for 5 years. So if that investment avenue is giving you the return in the form of a simple interest, how would that look? So let's say year 1, you earn 1,000 rupees, 10,000 pay 10% return, 1,000 rupees. Year 2, once again you earn 1,000 rupees. Year 3, you earn 1,000 rupees. Year 4, you earn 1,000 rupees. Year 5, you earn 1,000 rupees. So at the end of 5 years, your total interest earned is 5,000, your total principal was 10,000, and your total amount becomes 15,000 rupees, right? Let's look at now the compound interest part. How is compound interest calculated? Look at the right side of the table. Year 1, let's say you had 10,000 rupees. So year one, the interest rate, you got 1,000 rupees, so it became 11,000. Now the next year, instead of getting an interest on 10,000 rupees, you actually got an interest on 11,000 rupees. So your interest amount from 1,000 rupees went up to 10% of 11,000, which made it become 1,100 rupees. And so your total amount became, at the end of second year, it became 12,100 instead of 12,000 in the simple interest. And similarly, year 3, it goes up to 13,300, year 4, 14,600, and year 5, 16,100. And you see the difference of 1,105 rupees in a matter of 5 years with just 10,000 of principal. That's the difference. But I know, you guys are smart, you guys are clever. You're like, Akshat, 1100 rupees, 1,100 rupees. In today's world, what's the importance of 1,100 rupees, man? What will 1,100 rupees signify? Agreed, completely agreed. Just look at these two rows at the bottom. Year 10, that same 15,000 in the simple interest goes to 20,000. However, in compound interest, it goes up to 25,000, almost 26,000 rupees. And finally, year 30, patience, the ninth wonder of the world, your simple interest grows only to 40,000, but your compound interest grows to 1,74,000 rupees. There you see the difference. Look at this graph. There you see the difference. That's how compound interest works. Okay, so now let's look further into how could compounding really work for us in real life. How does compounding show its magic, works magical for us? Let's actually go and see how could it impact us. And let's assume that all of us are 18 years of age of now. You're 18 years of age. And you start with only 1,000 rupees a month. That's it. Just 1,000 rupees a month. Nothing less, nothing more. I hope you can manage this much. I'm sure, right? So 1,000 rupees a month is all that we've got to invest. Yearly, it becomes 12,000 rupees, right? And we will see how compounding works over the years of time. So this first column right here is the age when you start investing. The second column is the investment amount, right? The 12,000 rupees per year, 1,000 rupees a month. The next column is your interest rate that we're assuming that you can you can earn. 10% is what we've assumed. And I'm sure a lot of you right now are having question, Akshat, banks are promising us like 5%, 6%. How can you even think about taking, assuming 10% interest rate? Agreed. But it's a long workshop, it's a long course. So wait on till the remaining chapters and you will understand why we've taken 10%. But for now, just trust me and go with this 10% value that I've put up. Column E here shows you the final value that the compounded value, how your money is growing. And column F here is just giving you at every milestone how much is the principal that you've invested in total, right? So we've taken few milestones here. Let's say you start investing at 18 years of age. So at 30 years of age, how does your wealth look like? And if you see you've started investing just 1,000 rupees a month, which is 12,000 rupees a year, so your total principal becomes 1,56,000, right? In 13 years, 12,000 to 13, 1,56,000. But your compounded value, the wealth, has already compounded to 3,23,000 rupees. 3,23,000 rupees. In fact, a little more than that. Let's go further. Let's go 10 years further. From age 30 to age 40, you continue investing 1,000 rupees a month, which is 12,000 rupees a year. You invested another principal of 1,20,000 rupees. So your total principal went up from 1,56,000 to 2,76,000. And on the other hand, your compounded wealth went up from 3,23,000 to 10,49,000 rupees, 10,50,000 rupees approximately. Tripled, right? Let's go even further. From 40 years to 50 years, 10 more years, right? Nearing your retirement, getting into the old age. You again invested the same 12,000 rupees, so your principal has gone from 2,76,000 to 3,96,000. Whereas your wealth has gone up from 10,50,000 to almost 30 lakh rupees. And let's give it 10 more years of patience, 10 more years of the ninth wonder of the world. There you go. You invested 1,20,000 more, so your total principal is now 5,16,000. However, your wealth has grown up to be almost 80 lakh rupees. So with just 1,000 rupees a month, if you start at 18, you're able to grow your wealth to 80 lakh rupees. That's the power of compounding, my friends. That's the magic of compounding. Can you believe your eyes? And this is no rocket science. This is plain, simple mathematics. No rocket science. And I'll give you another example, right? Let's just randomly take some numbers now. I know a lot of you would be like, Akshay, 12,000 rupees starting at 18 years of age is not possible. Okay, let's figure out some other things, right? Let's remove the first 6 years from the sheet, and let's say you start investing when you're 26 years of age. So you invested, right, 1,000 rupees a month, or maybe at 24 years of age. Just randomly taking, because it just clicked to me that we do get a job by the time we're 24ish. So we can invest 1,000 rupees a month again, and then around 26, 27, let's say we increase, we got some increments, so we increased it to 3,000 a month, so 36,000 a year. And then age 30 onwards, we know that we've got to save that 1,50,000 rupees for getting tax deductions, right? So let's say all we're doing is just investing this 1,50,000 rupees, okay? Nothing else, just this 1,50,000. And I'm going to drag this 1,50,000 for the next 10 years. Let's say now you're into your 40s, you have a good earning, a handsome earning, and you can now invest up to 3 lakh rupees a year. And then finally, you're almost done with all your responsibilities. So from age 50 to 60, you're investing about 4 lakh rupees a year. And so you see, in a span of about 36 years, your total principal is 88 lakh rupees. However, you've made a wealth of 4.5 crore rupees. 4.5 crore rupees. That's the power of compounding, my friends. And there's one thing that I wanted to mention. I know an aunt who was just retired, and she said that, Akshay, I've made about a good sum. I have about 1 to 2 crores of retirement corpus, and what I'm thinking now is I'm going to take this 2 crore rupees and buy a 3 BHK flat, and I'm going to handsomely earn about 40,000-50,000 rupees of rent, and I'm going to just enjoy my retirement life, right? I'm going to get a fixed income. The real estate will appreciate if it will, but at least I'm going to get a fixed income per month. But what she missed was her wealth was at its peak of compounding. And what do I mean by that is, let's say if she's retired, she cannot invest anymore, but let's say if she would have just sat on her investments for 5 more years, right? Not invested any amount, just sat on her investments for 5 more years, this 4.5 crore rupees would have become 7 crores and 33 lakh rupees. Just sitting on that. That's the power of compounding, right? Well, yes, we can play with a number of permutation combinations here. We can put in some random numbers. Definitely, you'll have the access to this Excel sheet. So feel free to play with your numbers, but understand what we were trying to make you understand from here. I hope the message is pretty straightforward and clear. We all need to invest, and we all need to make sure that we have the the eighth wonder of the world clubbed with the ninth wonder of the world to make it work for us. There's one more important point that we want to mention in this chapter, and that is the importance of starting as early as possible. And looking at the same example, you remember when we started with 1,000 rupees a month, 12,000 rupees a year at 18 years of age, we were able to create about 78 lakh rupees of wealth by the time we turn 60. Now let's say you say that no, I don't want to invest right now. I'm 18 years of age. I want to enjoy my life. I want to hang out with my friends. I just want to party. I will start investing when I get my job. So let's say you didn't invest for the first 5 years, 6 years. You started investing when you were 25 years of age, right? And this 5 years, 6 years, 7 years of difference, starting at 18 versus starting at 25, let's see how much difference does it bring to your wealth. You were able to accumulate 78 lakh rupees starting at 18. You're only able to accumulate 39 lakh rupees starting at 5 years, 6 years later, 25 years later, 7 years later. There you go. So a loss of almost what? 28, 30 lakh rupees? 30 lakh rupees. Just because, 40 lakh rupees. Half, right? Half. 40 lakh rupees ka difference just because we waited for 5 years, 6 years to start investing. 1,000 rupees only. 1,000 rupees only. Samajh rahe ho? 1,000 rupees only. Right? So yeah, that is why it is very important for all of us to start investing, number one, and start investing as soon as possible. All right? So I hope the concept of compounding is neat and clear. You look at the graph right there on your screen, how compounding takes time to grow in the initial years, but once it has that confidence that you are going to club them with the ninth wonder of the world, that you are going to be patient with your investments, look at how beautifully that graph grows exponentially, right? And that's how compounding works wonders for all of us. So yes, save, invest, compound with a little bit of patience, and trust me, no one can stop you from growing your wealth. So when should you start? Well, all of us must start now. Now is the answer. Start ASAP. Well, yes, that's all for this chapter, and I hope this concept of compounding was clear to you. In the next chapter, we're going to understand another very, very critical concept about assets and liabilities, and how assets and liabilities impact us on a day-to-day basis. See you.
I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel, and stay tuned for more such videos.